Hello.
We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this. And we're going to talk about this. And we're going to talk about the blanket what I made. Oh, all crochet today. We won't talk about COVID. Yeah, I've been busy in the last month and a bit. I think that's since my last video. This, my darlings, I mentioned in my last video, this is Stella the unicorn. It's a pattern by... I've got it here. I know I've got it here. Stella the unicorn by When Crafting is Life, which I purchased the pattern from Etsy. And it was meant to be for like a DK yarn, but I've actually done this in Spotlight Super Saver, which is a 10-ply, or it's not really a 10-ply, it's a worsted weight. So she's a lot bigger than normal. Now this is for Freya's, one of Freya's besties, whose birthday is, well, her party's this week. She's going to get one like this. Freya's going to get one when her birthday comes around with pink. Same hair though. And the other friend will get one with purple, which will be cute and fun. Stella, or whatever the girls decide to call them, hey? So she was a fun make, fully crocheted eyes. I added some sparkle to, oh, blurry. No, come on, stop focusing on me. Yes, I added sparkle to the horn, just using some thread, some sparkly, well, not cotton, but like a thread. And this is a variegated yarn, also the Spotlight Super Saver or US style yarn, which I saw and went, that is unicorn hair, wouldn't you think? And yeah, I think so. Yeah, so Stella, hi Stella. Now the other thing I've made for another birthday that's coming up, this is the Sofia doll. She is by, could memorize these things, couldn't I? Sofia is by Green Frog Crochet. Also a pattern I bought from Etsy. You'll notice pins in her hair. This is because, and this is the first time I've done this, hair is crocheted and then I've glued it on as per the pattern instructions. That's a first for me, and I thought we could take out some of the pins and see where we're at. So let me just grab my little pin collection here. I don't want to pull too tight. I just want to, oh yeah, no, I think it's well and truly glued. So when did I do this? 2 days ago? I didn't feel the need to take the pins out any sooner, so I have just left them. I didn't glue it down completely, but it should sit flat there. Okay, these front strands are only glued at the very top. Okay, and then, so this is done in DK cottons. The doll is done with the Spotlight. Might actually be a cotton acrylic blend actually. They're Brighton brand, but the colours, the clothes and everything were done in the cottons that I got from my sister-in-law's box of goodies, and I love them. So these are, it's the Cedar cotton. They've got a slight sheen to them, which is really nice. But my favourite thing is, you know, we've got these pastel colours, beautiful, but then we add the mustard, and I just think it really pops, and I'm really loving this combination. Little Sofia here was a delight to work on. Ooh, hope I haven't glued any pins down. But it looks like the hair's sticking. Her shoe, everything comes off, so the shoes come off, the headband comes off, the dress, it's actually 2 pieces. It's a top and a little skirt. underneath. So they all come off, just standard plastic eyes, safety eyes, and a little bit of embroidery. And then the rosy cheeks, I actually just used some bright pink eyeshadow that I had, and it seems to have worked quite well. So that's nice. Oh, okay. We've got a pin hiding. Better make sure I get them all, hey? Yeah, I think she's so sweet. Sofia. Okay, so far so good. Nothing's coming apart and none of the pins are sticking or... Because some of them probably... Oh, another hidden one. Oh, the other interesting thing about Sofia here is, and it's the first time I've come across this in a doll pattern, for the neck, I actually crocheted a little tube that's slotted inside to give it a bit more structure. So rather than just stuffing it with polyfill, it's got an extra sort of tube in there. I think maybe the head's floppier than I would have wanted, so maybe I stuck the tube itself too far in, perhaps. Live and learn. Also, the arms didn't require any stuffing, but I did put a folded pipe cleaner in each. So they are slightly poseable. She can do a ballet stance, I suppose. Well, I guess the test will be, once the recipient has it and plays with it, how well the hair actually sticks. I just used a fabric glue from my local craft store, which happens to be a Lincraft. So I think it was their brand of craft glue. Seems to have worked thus far. I think if I was to pull on any of these strands, they would definitely come off. But, as in rip them up. But for now, actually, the hair on both of these was done in the same way. It's a chain and then a half double crochet back along the chain, and it just naturally wants to curl. I wouldn't mind if they're a little bit straighter, to be honest. So they naturally curl, and if I was to obviously continue up, more rows, it would start to hold shape. But because it's just the one row, they really flick in at the end. Did I get all the pins? So there's that. Better put my pins away before I tip them everywhere. Oh, op shop find. Big bag of hobby fill from my local Vinnies for $3. Love it when things like that happen, as you know. Last time I went to Spotlight, there was a little bit of a discount on. Maybe it was 40% off everything. Anyway, I fell in love with this colorway. This is a Lion Brand Ferris wheel. So it is a DK. Let me just confirm that. It's 100% acrylic, which I knew. And that's fine. I was happy with that. Actually, it's probably slightly bigger than a DK, but not quite a worsted. I bought this to make like a hat, earwarmer for Jen, my bestie, for her daughter who was turning 11. So I made that. Here's some footage of it. It was just a very basic pattern. There's ribbing, and then you pick up the stitches around it and create the height. Worked in the round after you join the ribbing, and then you just join the top of it to give it, draw it in and give it that sort of almost bow look. My plan is to make a matching one for Freya when I get around to it. It'll keep. But yeah, I just loved the colourways and I needed a little gifty to whip up. Speaking of gifts, I will talk about the baby blanket I made, which I did put on Instagram and has been received by the recipient. I had to send that one to Queensland. I will reveal to you what I have made for Jen, but I'm not going to talk about it in too much detail because I want to do a whole video about it once we get our fancy photo shoot done. I did see her and I did give it to her, but we weren't able to do the photos because we wanted to kind of do them at dusk, and she's going to like totally frock up and it'll be cool. And you'll see So I'll reveal to you what it is, and then you will see why we need to do a proper photo shoot for it, because I think it's pretty spectacular. So for Jen, I made Crafty Intentions Featherwing Shawl in black with a black and rainbow sparkle thread throughout the outline of the individual feathers. Here's a little glimpse. If you want to learn more about the Featherwing Shawl and my process and all the decisions I made, then do the likey, subscribey bizzo so you won't miss the next video or whenever I end up making that video. Also follow me on Instagram because I'm sure the photos will end up there too. Back to the baby blanket. The pattern itself is listed as the half square triangle hybrid crochet quilt. Let's say that 5 times fast. Half square triangle hybrid crochet quilt. Half square triangle hybrid crochet quilt. Half square triangle hybrid crochet quilt. Ah! So the idea with this quilt is, or blanket, is that you can make the X image. That's one block, but then you can make as many blocks as you need to and they'll all slot in together to make the blanket as big as you need to. So I was just making a fairly lightweight, small pram blanket for a bubba in Queensland. Yeah, so I used acrylic yarn because, well, you know, obviously wool would be nice for a new baby, but it's also nice to be able to chuck stuff in the washing machine with a new baby. So yeah, I've stuck to the acrylic, and also I have so many colours in the acrylic to choose from that I used a few colours twice, but I was able to, make something bright and epic. I do not have all those colours in wool, I must say. While I was in the process of making the blanket, I took some footage on a little work trip I made because I took it with me to work on. So I'm going to cut to that. I think I'm actually wearing this the same outfit coincidentally, but it was actually a few weeks ago. So let's do the let's go back in time. So I've put in most of the work into this blanket now. As you can see, it's not huge. So what I am actually going to do is make it a little bit bigger with a border, maybe about this thick or so. And what I am going to do to really finish it off and help me hide the ends for the edge pieces is a double border, so an enclosed border. What I'll be doing is slip stitching into each stitch, and then on each side of the slip stitch I will start an edge. So there'll be 2 edges and then they'll be slip stitched together, and it actually finishes off very nicely. But I still have all the other ends, don't I? I just wanted to talk to you about weaving in ends because I think there are a lot of people, and I see it all the time, who are like, oh my God, I've got ends to do. I do my best to not think of it that way. And I think by having all these really long ends, which I left them really long because I didn't know which strands I'd be using to sew up the squares. Every finish point has a long tail, just in case that needed to be used to sew up. When they're this long, obviously it really looks messy and unfinished, and so I can trick my brain into saying, hey, it's not done yet, must put those ends in. But I reckon we need to do that from the beginning of the project. So whatever you're making, whether it's a garment or something with squares that need to be sewn up, we really need to approach it with the attitude of it's not done until all the ends are in. Because I think we get a bit excited about having finished the knitting or the crochet and then going, oh, but I'm not finished the garment, or I'm not finished the project. So instead of getting too excited too early, I've decided, and I think everyone should try it, to just maintain the attitude of it's not done till the ends are in. And it's going to look fabulous when all the ends are in. So I'm just hanging out by myself in this motel. So what better time to weave in some ends? I can add it to my collection. This is like maybe 3 years of ends. Don't quite know what I'm going to do with them yet. maybe stuff a cushion or something like that. Gosh, it does take a long time to get a good collection. Maybe I could give them to Freya's school for arts and crafts, maybe. So I'm gonna just chill out here, maybe put the telly on and start weaving in some ends. And then once I've weaved in all the ends, except for the edge ones, I'm just gonna make sure they're secure and maybe a bit shorter. Then I'm gonna start my double-sided border. There's my philosophy on weaving in ends, because, you know, as a YouTuber, you must have opinions, I found. I'm really more into do whatever you want kind of attitude. I don't have an issue with weaving in it. I am pretty much done here. I do want to say that I am casting on some knitting at the moment. I'm literally only cast on 40 out of 100 stitches, and I went, you know what? I need to make a video. Even though I'm not 100%, you can hear I'm a bit congested and I've got a gnarly cough. Yeah, I was sitting here casting on and went, oh, just nobody cares. Just record it. This will actually be a hat for the Aussies Knitting for War Affected Kids. Aqua. It is one of the patterns I chose. I think I mentioned it in a couple of videos ago. It's a Schachenmayr, sorry for my... Schachenmayr design S9211 hat and scarf for children. I found it for free on Ravelry. This is yarn that was provided by Aqua. Quite old. It's a pure wool, but it is brushed. And it's my first time working with something like that, something like this. First thing I noticed is that it's quite sticky. So I am envisaging if I have to pull anything out, it's not going to be happy. I also think it's probably been in someone's stash for a long time before it was donated to Aquac, hence why it's probably even more sticky. And this, I think, it didn't have a label, but I think is the same. It certainly feels the same, looks the same. I did find the yarn listed on Ravelry, but it's discontinued, so pretty old. There we go. This will be interesting to see how this comes up. I've got 2 more little toy gifties I want to make, which hopefully will be in the next video. I'm going to make matching bears, free patterns from Amigurumi Today, and they're in little berry outfits, which are really cute. I don't want to make a doll again, or I'm not ready to do things with hair like this for a while. It is quite fiddly and hard on the fingers. Crocheting and holding the small strands is a lot harder on the fingers than creating something bigger, because you've really got to, you're holding everything so tightly. That's me. Hopefully next time I won't be congested and bleh. Yeah, can't wait to share the details for Jen's shawl with you.